Hello, everybody. The camera quality is unacceptable, so I will be right back. Go on. Go on. Okay. We're going to use some trusty dusty wipes. Okay. I guess it just sucks. I guess the camera just sucks. Hi, Justin. Like, can you? Okay, this is a little bit better. I'm going to literally be sitting on the edge of my seats. So we're going to wait just a second because I'm going to be on live on Facebook and on Instagram because hopefully, can you turn it down? Thank you. And hopefully that it people will understand what it is. So we have Justin and Tommy in here. I'm gonna give everybody about like 2 minutes and then I'll get started. Once I get all my social media platforms up and running, then we will get going because I'm really excited to talk about this book. It was a really, really good book. I feel so old. I don't even know how to like use my Facebook and get onto online chat. There you go, live right there. Okay, start live. You're old. Yeah, I am. I feel real old. I feel so old. I was on Pinterest and I was like, how do you do this? How do you work Pinterest? Let me move this way. So that way I can see the comments over here. Okay. I'm gonna give them about 1 more minute because I know there are people. There's like a giant lag going on. Okay, hi everybody on Facebook. We're about to get ready for book club. If you want to jump onto my YouTube channel on Onyx Yodi, go ahead and do that to watch book club. If not, you can watch it right here. No problem. And I'm going to say the same thing again for Instagram. But the quality on Facebook is going to be so much better than. Hey everybody, please comment. Hi Aunt Janelle. Everybody comment so I know who you are. Because sometimes I do not know. All right, just trying to do one more and then we're good. This is gonna play around and I'm not gonna do it. Okay. See, Justin, I don't even know how to do live on Instagram. I'm struggling. Hi, Mom. Okay, we're gonna get started in just a second. I'm waiting for Instagram to connect. And as soon as that happens, we can get started. It's Tommy, no fit helper. Hey Tommy. Tommy is playing uh 2K instead of actively listening. Okay, let me go ahead and get started without Instagram. It is what it is. So, you guys, today's or this month's book is Jacqueline Woodson's Brown Girl Dreaming. I love this book so much, only because I feel personally connected. You know, I'm full of it, but I was born in New Jersey. I wasn't raised there, so I don't really have that connection. But I do have memories of going back and forth from New Jersey in the summers, New Jersey and Philadelphia, to hold on, go live, it's working. Um, then comparing it to living in Texas, so just even my college experience of going from Chicago to back to Texas, whatever the up and north, north and south, that relationship and how it's like prevalent in all these books we're reading except for last month. Like it was, I love that connection. I love it a lot. And it was all up in here. And I found there was a lot of connection to Mama Day and the aspects of land, the connection of north and south, the juxtaposition of the two and how they connect. They also talk about similarities, they talk about the working with the land. So with Mama Day, it was root working, going out, tending to the animals, just being submerged into the forest and environment, things like that, in the woods. Whereas this book, it looks in the lens of obviously a little girl by the title and the book, but it goes through Jacqueline Woodson's life, narrated by the. I got sidetracked because I looked at Jess's message, but it's narrated by the little girl, and you get to see the not complexities, but the differences between North and South through a child's eyes, as well as the connection with Earth, because in the book, her grandfather starts tending to the garden, and she has that hey, she has that connection. Okay, Justin said, "What was your favorite part of the book?" Hmm. I think I like this book in its entirety. I don't think that this has one particular um, aspect or part that I'm like super fond about. I love it in its entirety because one, it's a super quick read. Two, it makes you feel like you've lived these memories or they're so similar that these are your memories. I wrote it down on my notes. Here we go. So, familiar moments to me, like troublesome family. So she has a uncle in here named Uncle Robert who comes up in the middle of the night. They just like they're like, "Oh, Uncle Robert's here. We're gonna have a party." Like he comes in bringing silver earrings and just, he's the fun uncle. But Mama knows like Uncle's into some stuff. Like I have that personal connection with that. An absentee dad, which we will talk about. Can somebody tell me how this man? Yeah, we're gonna talk about it right now. Page 41, if you have the book, hold on. I feel like I should quit lurking and say, hey, yeah, you probably should, Ariel. Thank you. Thank you for attending. Elise and Ariel are in the house. Honorable mentions. Hey, friends. Thanks for showing. And thanks for showing everybody else too. I appreciate all of you. So if you have the book, Leaving Columbus, I'm not going to read the whole poem because these aren't even really poems. I'm the fun, crazy aunt. Yeah, you are. I already know. These poems, I don't even classify them as such. I feel as though this is like a super cool way to do a memoir. Um, but I don't feel as though they're poems just because they're in stanzas and they look like poems. Like I know that poems don't have to have rhyming schemes and things like this, but it doesn't seem like a poem. It just seems like words thrown together without punctuation and things like that, or lack of punctuation. So on the bottom of page 41, we're leaving Columbus. So the dad, I'm just getting back into the house. Okay, thanks, Mom. I'm glad you could make it. But in this, basically, let me give you some context. Can you read one poem? All right, I'll read this one. So, leaving Columbus, my parents fight for the final time. My oldest brother is 4, my sister's nearly 3, and I have just celebrated my first birthday without celebration. There is only one photograph of them from their time together, a wedding picture torn from a local newspaper. Him in a suit and tie, her in a bride gown. Beautiful, although neither one is smiling. Only one photograph. Maybe the memory of Columbus was too much for my mother to save anymore. Maybe the memory of my mother was too painful. Wait, I'm making up my own words. Maybe the memory of my mother was a painful stone inside my father's heart. But what did it look like when she finally left him? A woman nearly 6 feet tall, straight backed and proud, heading down a cold Columbus street, 2 small children beside her, and a still crawling baby in her arms. My father, whose reddish brown skin would later remind me of the red dirt of the South, and all that it was rich about it, standing in the yard, one hand on the back metal railing, the other lifting into a weak wave goodbye, as though we were simply guests leaving Sunday supper. I was like, the nerve of this here dad, the nerve, because he just allowed the mom to just leave. That's all he did. He was like, okay, well, me, you are working out. So go ahead and collect all your kids, and I'll see you when I see you. Like, how do men get the privilege to do that? I don't know. I guess there's no. Go ahead and comment that down if you have something to say. The picture describes my parents never smiling and pictures together. Yeah, look, I'll show you the picture because this book has the pictures in as my old teacher would say, the facsimiles are in the book. So here's the picture right there, and neither one of them are smiling. They just looking unhappy, trifling. Right, right, right. How dare you? You don't smile on my wedding day, and then you just gonna leave me with these kids. All right, cool. So that's I was super. I wasn't shocked, but that's a similar issue, daddy issues, or lack of a father around. North and south relation. Okay, so there's one specific moment, not just one, but there's a couple of them. Page 83. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just the part I have highlighted. So it's called Hair Night. And this is another similar moment. I feel as though she's writing. So it's like she's writing and just these moments that she's lived. I feel like we've lived them in some shape or form. So she talks about Saturday night smells of biscuits and burning hair. First of all, how dare you? We all have that burnt hair smell. We know that smell. We know when you got your hot comb and you hear it and your hair sizzling on your scalp with grease, with different smells of grease. And so she talks about laid across the table is a hot comb, Dixie peach hair grease, horsehair brush, a stirring stick, and one girl at a time. Like she just go ahead and tell you. I remember being in the kitchen, having my hair pressed, having that sizzle, having my hands sweat because I just couldn't accept the fact that my head might be burnt with this going. I was afraid. Oh Lord, daddy issues. We can be here all. Well, see, this is why we won't talk about that. We're gonna save that for counseling. Everybody, go get your counselors together. Work with these baggages. Okay. And something, another thing that I like, and Jess and I remember us doing, and this goes for both North and South, is catching fireflies. I remember catching fireflies when I was in New Jersey and just catching them and letting them go and with my hand, just having that moment and having that moment here down in South. So she kind of has these moments where they kind of transition from each location she's at. It doesn't even matter. From if she's at grandparents' house to her aunt's house, and when her aunt passed away, she moved over to the old place with her mom. Another thing I found interesting, poor baby Poe agrees. Yes, baby Poe. Yes. I remember putting them in a jar. Yeah. So you just have these really similar moments where you're just like, this is my childhood. She's describing my childhood. It's timeless, kind of. And because this book time takes place. I don't know what she's writing. And I think she was born in the. Does anybody know? No. Tracy burned my niece with hot grease. It was a little too late. Okay, thank you, Ariel. That's what I needed you here. Okay, so 60s and 70s, because she talks about how her parents, and grandparents was children of slaves, like legit slaves. Not my grandfather's slaves, but my dad was a slave. So she's talking about it, racism, questioning not racism, just questioning racism, religion. She's questioning everything in this book at a very early age at that as well. So another thing I want to talk about is the questioning of religion. I'm just going to make some comments. So if you read this book, some of you didn't, and it's okay. But if you read this book, we get introduced with the religion when she goes to her grandparents' house, and they are Jehovah Witnesses. So in this book, she writes about like the grueling schedule she had of just having one free day on Friday and just being like, I'm so over being a Jehovah Witness. And then she has moments where she's questioning God and questioning why things are the way they are. Like I got the hot comb experience too, Black people memories, right? One that I wrote about was the little ballies slipping and cracking you on the head. That's what I wrote about because I remember that feeling like yesterday. So questioning of religion, she talks about that, and then a really cool thing, a really cool aspect I found in this book is the three generation perspective on racism. So you have the grandmother's view of racism, who's very much let's put our head down, let's go back to the way things were, where everybody knew their place. We're not going to go upstream. We're not going to make any ties. Like, this is what we're going to do. You have the mom's perspective of Black pride. I'm going to go. I'm going to fight. And then you have the little girl's perspective where she's just like, what's going on? I don't understand why people don't like me or why these rules are in set or why I have to respond in certain ways. So you get three different perspectives on the same topic. And I thought that was super cool. Okay. Justin, wait, Tommy goes, oh. Oh, you wrote that? I got the hot comb experience? Okay. Justin goes, how do you think the book cover correlates to its context? Fight the power, absolutely. So I feel as though this book cover correlates to its context. Well, it shows a little girl engaged in like a book where she's writing or something like that. Well, if you read the book, you know that she wasn't a big reader because it sounds like she has like dyslexia or something like that, where it's just it takes her longer to read, and she listens. She's an auditory listener or learner, where she listens to something and then she then can start to transcribe it and remember how to do it. So I'm assuming that this is like some type of journal of some sort. So where she's writing down her stories, and I see like the butterflies and these swirlies and whirls, and I'm assuming that's just her imagination. She's writing down her imagination and what comes to her because she's known for making up stories in the book. And her family is always like, "Why are you telling these stories? Why are you making it up?" So that's what I'm going to get from it. And she looks like she's in a field, so I'm assuming she's in the South somewhere. So yeah, I just think she's in the South writing and just living her best life. Thank you. Those are the types of books I like to read. Yeah, it's a really good book. The cover feels kind of lonely, just this little girl on her own. I find her to be lonely on only certain aspects of the book. So she was raised with an older sister who is a super duper book smart individual. I have all these points, but I'm just going to talk normally because I know we're just going to do it like this. So she's super book smart. Her brother is super introverted and just focuses on comic and like science. And then we find out later that he knows how to sing. And then Jackie was always living in her sister's shadow, where she was just like, oh, Odelia is great. Oh, you're not Odelia. Never mind. Let me look for somebody else to answer the question. So she had to deal with trying to find her voice and trying to find what she was brilliant at. And then she has one more younger brother, but he's not really prevalent in the book. He does get lead poisoning by eating paint chips, but that's neither here nor there. But I don't feel as though she was ever lonely physically. I feel as though she was lonely in her journey to find what it is that she's brilliant at, because she talks about it a lot, that she's longing to be known for something. So once she starts memorizing the words from books and songs, she's able to speak it and do like oral storytelling and things like that. And I thought that was a side note. That was really cool that she's using oral storytelling, which was dope. Just a side note. So that's when the teacher finally recognizes her and she's like, "You're brilliant, like great job." And she was like, "Oh yeah, I did that." So she always suffers. She had a lonely track of trying to find who she was in the bunch of kids. So that's my interpretation. Oh, totally. I feel like the loneliness is more representative of her introspection. Or yeah, yeah, yeah. Because she definitely didn't seem lonely. Like she had her friend Maria throughout the book. She had her grandfather. She had her the neighborhood sister. She had her siblings. Like there was never a moment in time where she ever really felt lonely. I don't think, outside of just her trying to find what it is that she's good at. Bentley, y'all gonna leave me alone. You got baby Poe on here. Justin has a dog. Bentley wants to know. Okay, Bentley. Billy wants to know how you came across this book. So I had a senior seminar course, and this was one of the books that was assigned, and it was so good. And I gave this away to one of my students, and I was super bummed. But I found it. Half price books had it for $5. That's how I found this book. It's so good. Normally, most of the books that I'm reading, I have either read before or somebody has suggested. So yes, that's how I found out about this. Okay, look at Ariel using her adult words. I know. Ariel's so collegiate. How, ha ha. Well, my mom sent me to college. Okay, well, I'm done with that conversation. All right, I'm just going to read through here, make sure I have covered all my notes. And then we did it for another book club. You guys, I honestly get excited about book club. I do. I enjoy reading the books. I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy analyzing it. I enjoy talking at y'all. I love it. Okay. Uh, Overall tone and mood. I just feel like there was a lot of warmth, a lot of whimsical aspects, warmth, even though it's told in a child's perspective, I feel as though she's very mature. She's very mature language, and I know that's because she's writing as an adult, recalling child's memories. But as a child, it, I don't know. She just seems a little bit mature for me. Barely. Woo woo. Me too. Okay, y'all just playing in the comments. Okay, holding my breath. Okay, so the grandpa and his smoking habit and him coughing. I felt like every time I read a poem about grandpa, he was gonna be dead, and I'm like, I can't handle this. Like I was connected to her grandfather, like he was filling up my daddy issues. I'm like, granddad, stop coughing, granddad. Okay. Southern writing, connection, the earth. Okay, I already talked about that. Breaking of family ties, dad leaving. That's that relationship with land, grandpa, grandma and racism. I felt some type of way that the grandmother is supposed to be this fiery woman, and yet she is strictly to the T. She's very religious. She's very engulfed in Jehovah Witness. What is it? What is that called? Jehovah Witness. What is that called? I don't know. Is there another term for that outside of Jehovah Witness? For me? No. Okay. I'm glad you. This isn't my twist. Teach your kid. I'm allergic to books. I'm sorry. I love books. I am a book person. I'm a book reader. Speaking of which, let me get through this list and I will tell you all the announcements. Relationship with land, grandma and racism, images so much of her own memories. Talked about that. The frying of hair, oral storytelling, racism. We went over my whole list. That was fast, nerd. Oh well, I already knew that. Thank you guys for coming again. So next month's book is going to be something very different. I'm pretty sure you guys haven't even tried it. But the only way this is going to work is if you read the book. And then please have somebody read. Everybody needs to read. Do you understand this? It's fundamental. You learn things. You get some new vocabulary. And this is social hour. So get your friends and tell them to chime in and put us on as background noise if you can't do that. But next month's book is going to be Marjane's um, Chicken and Plums, or I'm gonna put the picture at the end of this video when I edit it, but I'll also put the advertisement like Monday or Tuesday so you guys can see. Read faint. Okay. Also, I have bookmarks for you guys to download because you guys are dope. I'm going to show you the bookmarks, and because y'all are on my book club, I'll give you the next month. So I'm releasing one every month. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what is available to you if you would like to download and print your bookmark. So I'll give you the instructions. You print it out. If you choose to have it laminated, that is your business. But I did the hard work and I designed the bookmark for you. So this is, let me see. Oh, so these are the bookmarks that I have. I'm sorry, I'm trying to show you all, like on Facebook and on YouTube. So this is the bookmark for April. If you can't see it, it says I'm all up in this bish and the shushy face because you put a bookmark in a book, all up in it. Don't So that is free for you guys to download. It is all on my Instagram link. I'll put it on Facebook where you can download it and it'll be ready. Now, because you guys are always on point, this is uh, March's book club bookmark, and it is Leave Me Alone, Leave Me Be, I Am Reading. So I will have these available for you if you want March. I love for it, yes. Print it, it's yours. If you want March's book club, because I'm not book club, bookmark. If you want March's bookmark, Meg, why am I struggling so bad today, you guys? It's been a long day. Let me recollect myself. If you would like May's bookmark, go ahead and send me a message or comment down below, and I will get that over to you. but only to you because I can't put it on Pinterest because it's not time yet. But yes, thank you for coming back, Lord. I'm getting all these things late. Thank you for coming back. I will see you again for May's book club. We did it again. Everybody have a good Sunday. Goodbye. And now, goodbye.